know some people are still eating. Go ahead and finish up, and that's fine, just in the interest of time. So first, I just want to thank everybody for your continued attempts and working through Paraplan. We appreciate it if you're, trying, making an attempt, and even if things aren't coming out right, we're going to try to work through some of those things today and give some one-on-one. Or, of course, if you ever feel like you have specific questions about your route or anything that you want to just go over, you can call the office or set up a time to stop in, and we can go through anything that you have specifically. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is changing routes. And when I say that, I mean like if you're assigned a route for the day and you do a couple of trips and suddenly you have a flat tire or a vehicle breakdown and you have to switch vehicles, there's a process that we need you to go through on the Paraplan iPad tablet so that it's tracking the mileage correctly in the vehicle that you're driving, not the one that broke down or had the issue, okay? So first of all, we know that there are 2 logins to start your day, or 2 odometers set to start your day. And this is the first one, or what I'm going to call the first odometer where you enter it. Everyone's email is your first name dot last name at swipco.org, no spaces, no caps. Then your password is your first name. So if you go by Rich, it might be Richard, okay? And you probably know that by now. And then the odometer reading of the vehicle that you're driving. So the thing to think about here is if you have logged out correctly previously, the day before, the email and the password should be there. The only thing you should really be entering is the odometer on this page. If anybody's clearing out the whole thing and you have to enter the email and the password and the odometer every time, please talk to someone, because there's a way to log out and not clear all that out, okay? Any questions about that so far? Okay, so next slide. On that first page, when you set the odometer, then you go into your manifest, and at the bottom right, you're not going to see this probably today because people don't have trips, but you'll have a next stop button, and it's circled down here in red. We want you to go to that after you set your first odometer on the login page. So go ahead, Mark. Then on the next stop, this is how the pop-up looks. This is what your screen looks like when you hit next stop. And a couple of things that we're going to talk about today is this assigned route box right here, and then also the vehicle just to the right of that. The vehicle should always be what you're driving. If it's not, you should be calling in. If it's something that you're not driving, we don't want to track mileage on something that we don't have you assigned to. Does that make sense, I guess? Okay, but what we're going to do first is if you have a breakdown or you're switching vehicles, we are going to have you go to this page and end the odometer in the vehicle that you're driving. So we want to kind of put that vehicle away. We're going to end the odometer in the vehicle that you're currently driving. Then, on this assigned route line, see how it's named the route, Mark Lander. Right after that, it has a +1 in parentheses. Does everyone see that? A lot of times, most of you do not have anything in parentheses. You might have a Vodek line or whatever, I don't know, crossroads line or a taxi line or something like that, and that's the name of the route. If you do not have anything else assigned to you for the day, you will not have anything in parentheses like this. But if you do, or if you switch vehicles, the office has to assign you another route. And when that happens, you would click here on assigned route, and a box pops up that says select one of these. So in this case, the route has 2 Mark Lander routes because that's what we've named them. Some of you might have STS, and then you might have, you won't have this, but Max, you might have Vodec line. So you might have 2 routes assigned to you that are the same name, and you could easily have 2 routes assigned to you that would be different. So it's easy to differentiate. But here, if you tap on the first Mark Lander route, and the vehicle pops up that's broke down, that's not what I want you to log into. But if you go to that second Mark Lander route, and now all of a sudden your vehicle's changed to what you are driving, that's what we want you to log into. So once again, you should always be logged into the vehicle, or you should always be driving the vehicle that's assigned to you on this tablet. Who does not know where to look for that? Does anybody have a question about where you look for the assigned vehicle? Okay. Any questions about how to get to this next stop page? Okay. So once you have tapped the Mark Lander, or the route, this one's Mark Lander, just for instance, and the vehicle that you're going to drive is showing, then I want you to set the starting odometer on the vehicle that you're going to drive. So we ended the vehicle that broke down. Now we're going to start the odometer in the route that we're switching to. Does that make sense? If you don't, and you just keep driving, we're tracking miles on a vehicle that we're not really driving. So it can be confusing, and if anybody has this, we call into the office and we'll walk you through the steps of how to do it. Anyone in the office can help you. Maybe not Denise, because she's brand spanking new, so she doesn't have tablet training, but anybody should be able to help you. So, the other thing, if you log into this and you're setting your starting odometer for your very first route, it should match the first one. So your first one on the login page and this starting odometer should be the same if you're just logging in for the first time for the day. It will be different if you're switching vehicles. Do not completely log out, just go to set odometer for the vehicle you're going to drive. Does that make sense?
Can you change the number of the vehicle you're driving, or do you have to do that?
You can change it, but if the office is open, we want to change it. The only reason that you should change this on your own is if you're driving after 5 or on a Saturday or Sunday and no one's there to help you. If you drive at GRC, like Rich was saying, and he doesn't know what he's driving, he's got to find out, and he's got to radio in and tell us, and we're going to assign it. It takes a matter of minutes to do that. Or if you're like, well, Kelly told me to drive 713 and my tablet's saying 1708, that's not right. I mean, you should be calling in, finding out if we switched it for whatever reason or didn't switch it. So this is something that some of you are doing and doing it fine. Others, we needed to go through step by step. So we go to the next one. So this is the step-by-step vehicle change. You can use this page, you can call in, or anything. But first of all, you're going to, when you're already on your manifest, you're going to go to the next stop. You're going to end the odometer in the vehicle that you're driving. So you put your numbers in, and then you hit set ending odometer. Then you're going to tap your route, which is to the left of the vehicle assigned. Watch for the vehicle to change. So, like I said, that's your indication. You might have 2 Mark Lander routes, but one of them's assigned to the right vehicle, and one of them's assigned to the vehicle that just broke down. Okay? And then set your starting odometer for the vehicle you're going to drive, and then go right to your manifest to perform your trips in your route. Yes,
So for like Rich and I, when we're changing, midday, it's all on that one page. We don't have to go off that page to do anything.
you do have to. When you pull
page?
this
Is this what
up
you're looking
right
at?
here and you tap on assigned route, you're gonna have a +1.
Yeah.
Richard's gonna, you're gonna, and I need you to tap, okay, I need you to end your odometer in 2005 from your morning trips. Then I want you to tap your route, assigned route here, and I want you to tap on Council Bluffs School. And it should change to 1808.
So it'll all be on that page?
It will all be on this page. I thought you meant your manifest.
No.
Okay. Yes, so you're gonna end your mileage in your first vehicle, and you're gonna start.
That times that vehicle out, and then tapping changes to the new vehicle.
Right, it will be assigned 1808 in that corner, right there. Have you been doing that?
No, I've been doing a little more than that.
Oh, okay. So if there's specific questions, we can chat, but
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
you do not have to completely log out. You just have to end the vehicle you're driving, switch routes, start the vehicle odometer you're
that's
driving.
what I was doing, is going completely out
Yeah.
and coming
Some-
back in.
Some of this we learned after you already had your refresher training. I think you were in one of the early refresher classes and we
Yep.
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So we were training you to log out and log back in with three new
Yep.
odometers, 2 starting and a new ending.
yes,
We have since learned that you don't have to log out. You can just switch your route there that she's showing you,
Yeah.
and that switches your vehicle. But you do have to end the first odometer, set
Yes.
your new odometer, and then you'll end that odometer when you're done for the day. But yeah,
But-
that's
but
on
it's-
us because we
it's-
didn't know that when you got trained.
it's all on that next stop
Yes,
page.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
yes.
that's a lot easier.
It
Okay,
is,
good.
it is.
Good. Yes, Craig. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I had it happen to me that, I was supposed to have a certain vehicle and it was, I think 5 or 5:30, so nobody was in. So the vehicle I was supposed to have wasn't there, so I took another one. And then later I spoke to a dispatcher, but the number would have been wrong for my trip, for the bus number.
So that is a time, if no one's at the office, then you can change that vehicle by tapping it. If someone's there, we would prefer you would let us know so that we can have it correct on our end. It changes it on the iPad, on your iPad. It does not change it at the office.
Okay.
So, yes, if you get there to pick up a vehicle and it's the wrong one and no one's there, change it. You tap on it and there's a big scroll list of all the vehicles in the system. If someone's in the office, we'd prefer that you would tell us, okay? Mhm. Now, the other thing is if your vehicle breaks down and Denny goes and takes a vehicle to Dave or something like that, like if Kelly would tell you guys to do that. If you're brought another vehicle because you either broke down or your lift doesn't work or whatever, and there's no +1 after your route, you have to call the office because we don't know that you're switching. Somewhere along the line it just didn't get communicated and we need to make a route, assign the new vehicle to you. Or if Mark Hansen brings you a vehicle because yours was being worked on and now you're switching back to what you normally drive, if you don't have that +1 on that route, you've got to call us because you're logged into the first one you were driving. Who has questions about that? It's a lot of information, it's a lot of steps, but if we don't switch, then we're logging mileage on a vehicle that, for the most part, you guys like Jim, all the STS guys, that kind of thing, you're gonna be in the same vehicle all day, you know? But yeah, Russ is a good example, Rich, you know, just kind of Larry and Ted, I think you guys pretty much in the same one. But if somebody breaks down, then this is the process. Don't just skip it if you're not sure in 2 weeks what to do because it's been that long and we've forgotten or whatever, then just call us and we'll help you through. Okay? questions, talk to somebody if you need to.